Hey, sup, pups? How's it going? How? Oh no, we've got. Oh, whoops! Didn't want an echo feedback from one of the places. Hey, Chaos Smash, what's up? Yo, welcome to Power Up Wednesday, where we take a look at what's happening in the weekend. Well, I guess the week. Excuse me. The weekend would be Saturday and Sunday. But yes, I got found some interesting articles that we can talk about, see what's up. Other peeps might join us. Joe says he's on his way, and we'll see who else might come on by. But how you guys doing? Guys doing well? Doing good? I'm doing all right. I've been fighting off probably I don't know, probably stress headaches and tension headaches and achiness and all that stuff. Or maybe I had something that I didn't know. It wasn't the coof. I do have the self tests and I tested it and it wasn't that. So who knows? Who knows what it is? Who cares? We're overcoming it. Oh, speaking of the man who's cladded in what I can only assume is Ohio gear, is Joe. What's up, dude?
Oh, just having a shit fit over here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Kids?
Uh, Kids, equipment. I literally just finished building a new bed for them that came
Oh,
in the
man.
mail today, and like it wasn't like even that bad. It was just like a horrible pain in the ass and irritated me really bad. So now I'm just in a bad mood. Period. But I'm sure it'll turn around. It's just
Oh,
equipment, junk, all this stuff around me. It's just everything I look at's pissing me off today. So, but I'm seeing you now, so that helps.
oh, good. Well, I'm glad I can bring some small spark of happiness in people's lives to outweigh the rage.
I mean,
Chaos
I'm
Smash
just glad
says,
there's not a bunch of animals around me because I would fucking kill every one of them right
"Oh,
now if there was. I'd be like, "You're getting it because I'm taking it out on you, buddy." You're going,
no, those poor
no,
animals."
those poor
Chaos
animals.
says, "Sweet, the second idiot is here." Rude. Bring on.
Chaos, you shouldn't talk about yourself that way, bro. That's like you got esteem
Oof,
issues.
oof, oof. The stuff being thrown, the gauntlet being thrown down.
No, Chaos is a champ.
He says, "Bring on a third one, and it'll be a hat trick." We'll see what happens. Um, Chrissy might join us. We'll see.
Yeah.
I sent out a link to her, so she's more than welcome. So it's not a fucking huge sausage fest.
So, well, it might be either way.
Yeah, it might be either way. Who knows? Chaos says I'm the fourth idiot. True, true. Well, we've got some. I've found some topics we can talk about. Just kind of comment on stuff. So, again, just seeing what shenanigans are happening this week. Comment on them. See what's up. See what's
Sure. Yeah.
good, bad, all that stuff. I guess we'll go ahead and start off, and I've got something pulled up here, and that is the Super Mario Brothers movie. Is I'm hearing from the peeps that I follow on YouTube and stuff that it's actually pretty good. People are really enjoying it, which is good. I kind of had a feeling that it wasn't going to be super infested with a lot of stuff. Um, a lot of people are saying if like it's for the fans, so if you're a Mario fan, you'll enjoy it, sort of thing. Um,
Well,
I'll
the Japanese at Nintendo basically don't trust anybody. So
yeah.
we're lucky this happened, period. After the fiasco in the 90s, this seemed like something we'd never get again. Also, I'm hearing myself a little bit on reverb.
Oh. Uh,
I don't know if that's something on my end. I got headphones in, obviously.
how about now? If I'm talking,
Check one, two, check. A teeny tiny bit, but not enough to like throw me off.
let me see if I can. Let's see. Let me see if I adjust my master end down. Am I still sounding okay if I adjust
Yeah, you're
this?
fine. It's just me I'm hearing.
Chaos says, I don't hear you on reverb. I think you're just crazy.
I might be.
Okay, because I have a soundboard now and an XLR mic, so
Yeah,
and
it's not you because you sound fine to me. It's just my own voice, which I
okay,
don't hear now, so we're probably good.
I turned it up a little bit. There, I'll just adjust my max end. Because I should be okay. No one's complained
Yeah.
about it. So
Yeah, no, you sound great.
okay, sweet. But I actually do like the '90s Super Mario. I think just more so because it's a thing of its time. So you just kind of sit back and be like, oh man, I remember that, regardless of the writing and the bullshit of that
Well, it's
movie.
weird because even in its time, everyone hated it. It
Yeah,
was it wasn't like it ever was redeemed. It's been looked at as a like it never became a cult classic. People are trying to say it is now, and like between 2022 and 2023, it's not, and it never was, and it never will be. It's
I
just
think,
it's not Mario.
yeah, yeah, I think I at least give it props to the extent of they tried to do what they could with it. But I also know that that movie went through like director hell and like a
Hmm.
bunch of bullshit. And like I know, and I know the original first draft of the script was out there. I know it was a lot darker, and I would have loved to have seen a dark themed Mario sort of thing. But it's
I want
Nintendo.
Mario to be Mario. That's me. I want it literally to be the Mario 3 and Super Mario World look,
Mario 3,
style,
nice.
everything down to the to those two games. I have zero interest in it being anything outside of that realm. But that's me. I don't want to see Mario darkened up. I don't
Hmm.
want to see some adult take on it. I just want it to be what it
True.
is because it's
Then
perfect
you
the way
might
it
enjoy
is.
the new movie that
Oh,
came
I am.
out.
I'm going to take my kids to go see it here once it,
Yeah,
you know.
I'll be seeing it Sunday. My roommate's gonna my roommate and I will go out and check it out, and he'll be seeing it the second time because he's actually going to see the movie for work related reasons, which is pretty interesting, pretty cool. Let's see. Chaos says, I remember renting it from Blockbuster. I remember a friend bringing it over and watching it, but a long time ago, and it was definitely like, okay, this isn't Mario, but they're putting Mario things in there that I'm familiar with. Want Mario and Luigi to be the Mario and Luigi from the RPG games? Oh, Superstar? That's a great series. I need to continue that. Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga is a great series. But one thing I do want to point out, even though a lot of people are saying, and it's definitely getting one of those, it's getting those ratings right away where the critics are saying it's bad, but the audience loves it. To which I don't even know why we listen to critics anymore, because
They're just a bunch of liberals that want to be uptight. They
yeah,
never have anything good to add to it.
yeah, exactly. But there was one thing that I did see that I do kind of want to get a little bit more detail into it. Is I do know that the voice actress who does Peach, you got Mario and Luigi Dream Team from the eShop for 19.99 or 19-20 bucks, pretty much. That's good. I'll probably want to get a physical copy, or I can find other ways, i.e., emulation. So not a big deal. But one thing I did see, I've got this pulled up, is that, and I think it's just a poor choice of wordings. I even made a tweet about it with like the Joker meme.
Yeah.
Is this article right here where it says, I'm bounding into comics. The Super Mario Brothers movie star Anya Taylor Joy says she was only interested in voicing a quote modern quote Princess Peach. I felt like we could create a more three-dimensional character. Now, funny enough, Lofty has brought up a clip uh, from
This
Dropper.
dumb broad was taking that role no matter what the script said. I
Yep.
don't know who she thinks she's fooling. She knew this was Insta money.
Hmm.
But go
But I
on.
do know, what is it, Miyamoto. I do know I saw a clip with Miyamoto did saying like for the story related purposes to like kind of get the game of what they wanted to do. They did something quick, the whole damsel in distress scene, and he was claiming that it was there because it was convenient, but we always wanted to do something with it. But yeah, poor choice of wordings to say modern and. So, actress Anya Taylor-Joy has revealed that she had one true condition for lending her voice to Princess Peach in the Super Mario Brothers movie. The ruler of the
She
Mushroom
had no
Kingdom had to be a
conditions.
more modern ruler than any of her previous incarnations, which, I mean, look, I don't mind by having her being a strong female character, I guess you could say. I don't mind it if you're like, hey, we need to give more dimension to this person. I understand that. But like if it's getting to the point of like, okay, if Princess Peach was created to be the damsel in distress cliche sort of thing, don't accept that that's what it was, okay? If they wanted it to be Princess Peach, they would make it Princess Peach, and they've done it. They've made video games of her and stuff like
Well,
that.
and the chicks clearly doesn't know anything about the video games. That was Mario 1.
Yep,
And it
exactly.
stopped on Mario 1. There's literally been 20 some games since then featuring the Mario
Hmm.
characters. So
And I,
clearly she doesn't know what she's talking about. And two, she
hmm
had no conditions. No one knew who she was. You don't get to make conditions when no one gives a fuck about you or knows who you are in the first place. You're just some
exactly.
random chick whose agent got you a gig.
Exactly. Too.
Come
And
on.
I think throughout the Mario franchise, like exactly what you said, Joe, it's like that was just a one-time thing. And I think that's definitely the lie that the libtards have kind of infested in the video game industry is pulling that sort of thing. Is when they have to bring up like Princess Peach, for example. She's your tip, it's like, oh, it's your cliche woman. She's not strong. A man needs to help her, and she's the damsel in distress. And it's exactly what you said. It's like that's in the fucking first game. Like,
Every woman I know needs a man to help her. Literally, I've never met a woman that wasn't borderline helpless in certain situations without a male around. You bitches can't even handle a spider. Give me a fucking break.
Chaos
Go ahead.
says,
I'm sorry.
no, no, it's all good. I love it. I love Salty Joe.
Yeah.
We're all gonna probably get salty. So,
Liquor.
oh, you got liquor? I do not, unfortunately.
It's still here from when I was on Camelot. I never put it away. The sad part is like I only drank like this much on his show. It wasn't even that much. I thought
Oh,
I was gonna
jeez.
pig vomit by the end of it. I was
Oh
like,
gosh.
oh god, I haven't drank in a while. Go fucking barf.
Peach was a strong character. Super Mario RPG, Super Princess Peach, Mario plus Rabbits. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Like the whole Princess Peach damsel in distress sort of thing
Oh,
doesn't really exist anymore. And if like for and a lot of the times like whenever a quote unquote damsel in distress scenario is taking place, like for example, Luigi's Mansion, awesome game. Like Mario, like it's not just Princess Peach or just Mario anymore. Like the group, the gang, the friends that they all have, something happens to them. So it's not just isolated to one person anymore. Pretty retardo. So Joy opened up on her experience bringing the pink-clad heroine to life during a recent interview with Slash Films, given in promotion of the Nintendo animated features upcoming premiere. Eventually, turning to the topic of the quote girl boss attitude being applied to Princess Peach's cinematics, which I'm also hearing people are saying like this is kind of a miss. It's not exactly what she's claiming, sort of thing. Like
yeah.
I was actually going to see the movie. Like I was giving it the benefit of the doubt, regardless of seeing the sort of attitude towards it. Because like what you said, Joe, like with the live action movie, they're going to make sure that they're going to cater at least to the fans, or at least me, like the Super Mario Brothers
Oh,
fans.
I've been excited about this movie since I first heard about it.
Yeah, I was
Like
fine with it, and
yeah,
even the whole fiasco with Chris Pratt and stuff, I was like, oh my gosh, like you're just mad because he's like an outspoken like person of faith. Like, get the fuck over it. What's the opposite of the word joy? Dismay,
liberal,
liberal, joyless, I guess. But yeah,
Democrat.
let's. What's up?
I said Democrat.
Democrats, yeah. But actually, hold down the fort, Joe. Hold
Sure.
on. Be right back.
All right. Let's see. I'll look ahead a little bit here. Eventually, turning to the topic of the It says in quotes, as you can see, girl boss attitude being applied to Princess Peach's cinematic incarnation. Best demonstrated in the film's previews in the scene where she can be seen confidently kicking a halberd weapon into her hands without looking. Slash film writer Jenna Bush asked the actress if she could talk about your approach to this version of the character. They say it as if it's any different than any other version. Just these people are retarded. You can tell they have no clue what they're talking about. To which Joy replied by recalling how when I first approached about playing Peach, when I first approached. So I'm guessing they left a word out there. When I was first approached about playing Peach, I was extremely honored, but a little bit hesitant just because in my head, before I met everybody, I thought I really want to do this, but I only want to do this. I can't quite see. If it's, I'm going to assume it says if it's a modern version of Peach. But I don't know what she thinks a modern version of Peach is. Peach has just been a playable part of the universe, a character in the universe for 20, 25, 30 years now. I mean, I think Mario 1 came out in like 86, maybe. Don't quote me on that. But I mean, I was 3 years old. I'm 40 now, so y'all can do the math. These people have had ample time to bare minimum go look at a wiki and learn something about Mario before saying all these stupid things that have no context and no basis in any part of reality in terms of Mario games. Um, it's just lazy on their part. You can tell they're a bunch of lazy people that had zero interest in this and thought they were going to insert their will. And when it didn't happen, because the Japanese aren't going to let anyone insert their will on their products, at least with Nintendo. I can't speak for Sony and the other companies, but they're trying hard to make it sound like they put their foot down about something when they never had a choice. Take the role or leave. There's literally thousands, if not millions, of women that could have voiced Peach perfectly fine without making some generic ass gay statement, as if they were going to do something or we're sticking it to the people that came up with these characters. It's so generic and cheesy, and it's super obnoxious. They're trying to get this movie to fail, and it's not going to work, and it irritates them. I've never seen a group of people in all my life, like Hollywood liberals, that are so dead set on something either failing, so they complain about the people that didn't go see it, or something succeeding and they want it to fail, so they can still complain. It's really strange. It's really weird, and hopefully Nintendo will learn a little something from this part of it and not ask anyone back that tried to cause friction for the opening of this movie, because they don't need these people, and they could have found a zillion other voice actors that would have probably done it for a quarter of the cost of these fucking retards that they brought in that have done nothing but try to sabotage it right out the gate. Disrespectful people. Zero appreciation for anything. Zero appreciation for the Mario universe, for Nintendo, for the fan base that loves this stuff, and for the movie itself. This movie's a big deal, and these retards can't even pull it together long enough to just act normal for a few interviews. It's
I
pathetic.
I don't know what you were saying the entire time, but the fact that I entered back in to saying that insulting these people makes me happy.
I read the paragraph that's on screen there,
Oh, nice.
starting with the word, yeah, and just went through that, and I
Sweet.
couldn't help but notice like how obnoxious and stupid this bitch is.
Also, for folks, we are multi streaming on YouTube, Rumble, and Kick. I'm checking out Kick. It's apparently like Twitch, like down to the design, except more free and hopefully based. And over on Rumble, we have Famalot, or Famlot. What's up, boys? Hey, what's up?
What's up, man?
What is going on? Thanks for hanging out. Thank you, Joe, for covering. Sorry, like I got a notification like earlier today about Spectrum, our internet being down. I was like, of course it's going to be down when I say I'm going to do a show and like talking to people, being
Dude,
like, hey, I'm going
Spectrum's
to
so
plan.
frustrating. I
Yeah,
have the
and
same
then
service.
luckily it got fixed when I got home. But then it was like, oh, what's happening? So check to make sure we should be fine. So if I disappear for some weird ass reason or the show ends, that's what happened. Um, so what'd you read down to? Like, did you get to like A and B, like this part,
Yeah, I
or
got down
all the way?
to right down to the bottom and just played guesswork with the last sentence because I couldn't see it, but I could tell where we were going with it, you know.
All right, so I'm assuming she just explained about some stuff happening when I first approached about playing Peach. Extremely honored, okay, but a little
No,
bit
she wasn't.
hesitant.
She wasn't honored at all. She's a lying right through her teeth. If you were honored, you wouldn't say stupid shit every place else in this interview except for that one line of being honored. Come
Chaos
on.
says, "Hi, hey, Famla. Greg is a bald ginger. Point and laugh at him when you can. Don't listen to him. Look. Chaos Smash is just a heathen. Don't listen to him.
Chaos is mad because he's just bald and he doesn't even have the ginger part.
True, very true. Everyone wishes they could.
I think Chaos is still trying to grow a mustache and he's like 53. It's unacceptable. Chaos. Get it together, Chaos.
A little bit hesitant just because in my head before I met everyone, I thought, oh, I really want to do this, but I only want to do it if she's a modern, not a princess, but a ruler. See, and I would
Does
have
she
been
not
like,
realize a princess is a ruler? Like either way, like they're the same thing, you dumb bitch.
Chaos Smash says he has a full beard. Ooh,
On your balls?
on your
Because I
balls.
hope
Oh my
so.
gosh.
No, Chaos is a champ. We love you, Chaos. You keep everyone on their
Absolutely.
toes.
Um, dude, if you told me like if she probably must have thought about this because I guarantee you she didn't say shit. But then once she finally got asked about it, she's like, "Oh, I thought about this." Like you would have been dropped in a heartbeat. Like
Yeah,
if I was in charge, I would have been like, "Oh, you're gone then."
yeah. See ya. We don't need you here if you can't just get your act together long enough to get through some stupid press junkets.
She's really a leader in this. Yeah, she's the princess of the kingdom. The New Mutants star explain New Mutants. What is that? That shitty Seth Rogen Teenage
No,
Mutant Ninja
no,
Turtles?
it was a sad take at trying to do a movie of the X-Men universe characters called the New Mutants. It was an 80s book about like the
Oh,
next set of like young upstart mutants that Xavier was taking in. You know, it was basically Teen Titans for Marvel.
oh,
So,
I get you.
yeah.
I felt like we could create a more three-dimensional character that had her own agency. I was so thrilled when I first met everybody that everyone was on the same page. Well, okay, right there, I know I've seen a Miyamoto clip, and he like pretty much says the exact same thing. So, is this even an original idea from you?
Well, that's the problem is she's trying to act like this is something they thought of. It's like, no, you got a
Yeah,
script and it was done. It was already ready to go.
yeah,
You didn't show
exactly.
up and do rewrites, you retard.
We all wanted to do the same thing. That just made for a very exciting process because there are moments where I did want to call back to the original game and have that fandom pay off in that way. Okay, you don't. I have a feeling you don't even know about the fandom what at
She
all.
doesn't.
So don't act like you care about the
Yeah.
fandom. I guarantee you don't really know it. I'll
She
give you the
wouldn't have
benefit of the doubt of being ignorant, but you
she
don't
wouldn't have
act like you
said a
know.
quarter of this stuff if she knew anything about the fandom. And you don't even have to know a lot about the fandom. Just that Mario games are beloved on a
Yeah,
large global scale. That's all you need to know.
but also, it wouldn't have worked for the whole of the movie, she then argued. She's a three-dimensional character now. You have to have colors in her voice. I just feel very grateful that I was supported every step of the way and there wasn't any pushback. I think that's what we would just call good script writing.
Yeah, what was there to be pushback
Yeah,
about, girl? Look,
what are you talking about? I'm sorry. What is this person talking about? Everything that she is afraid of, I guarantee you probably could have gotten that once you've read the script.
it's well. Here's the thing: people don't. Your average person probably doesn't know about Nintendo. Go to try to get a license from Nintendo for anything. It's next to impossible, especially for Mario. I'm being specific to Mario,
Mm-hmm.
and like Zelda and the other things that they own that aren't third party related. Um, they will. They are very picky. You have to run everything by them over and over and over. They have a specific color palette. They have a specific wording palette. They have specifics for everything on what you're allowed to use and not use. And you have to stay in that realm, and you cannot deviate outside of it even a tiny bit. So I
Mm-hmm.
guarantee you, no matter what this girl says or a pushback about this girl, it wouldn't have mattered if there was pushback. You would have been fired. You know why? Because Nintendo doesn't give a fuck about you. They don't. I hate to break it to you. You're replaceable. They know you are
Mm-hmm.
because it's Mario and it's theirs, and they know how difficult they are about
Mm-hmm.
letting anyone touch Mario.
Yeah.
So every time she says something like this, people need to know none of it happened. She did exactly what she was told. She came into the studio and read her lines, and when the director said good, she left and she got her paycheck. That's literally all that happened here.
Mm-hmm.
There was no
Exactly.
discussions about this or that with Nintendo. It didn't happen. I 100,000 zillion% guarantee it.
Absolutely,
It's
and and
yeah,
specifically with the Japanese like branch of Nintendo, like they're not gonna fuck it up. They're not gonna like let anything happen to it. The U.S. branch, I'd question it, and I'm just saying that just for video game sake. With the whole censorship shit, like
well,
the
even the
U.S.
U.S. branch is very careful with what they say and do. There's
Mm-hmm.
a lot they can't get away. You can look at Nintendo America's like Twitter timeline, and it doesn't get nearly as over the top liberal ridiculous as say every other corporation in America
Yeah.
because Nintendo won't have it. They'll literally fire the CEO
Mm-hmm.
and replace him overnight. They do not care. They don't need Nintendo America even. It's just a nice convenience. They don't need
Yeah.
it. They could literally put a manager in charge of a warehouse. That would be Nintendo America, and they'd be fine
My
with that.
big thing is my big red flag is just the censorship because Nintendo is doing pretty good of letting certain things not influence their censorship and passable, and then some shit, and then because they did it before, they went back and they actually showed that they were staying true to the word, and now it kind of sounds like they're going back again. So, but that's just me based on that. Other than that, I 100% agree with you. But I think that's just with everything. Like, definitely don't feel bad that your red flags pop up on you, but like when you see like stuff, like when you're seeing stuff like this, then yeah, it's like this bitch doesn't know what she's talking about.
Yeah,
I'm positive the American branch messed up the localization of Fire Emblem Engage on purpose. That's what I'm talking about. I think everything is just like a specific case, like what Joe was saying too. When it comes to the Mario franchise, they're not gonna let it
is
get
Fire
infected.
Emblem third party?
Fire Emblem, that I don't know my history of Fire
Is
Emblem.
that well? Because I was gonna say if it's third party, Nintendo really could give a fuck less. If it's
Oh,
Nintendo product, like came right out of the house, yeah, they might be
I
a little
don't
more
think it
picky.
is. I can look this up right now. I guess I'm in front of a computer. I guess there should be no
Computers are
excuse.
stupid. Who even needs them?
I say I'm in front of the computer
Yeah.
and I'm instantly going to my phone, mostly because I have a bunch of like windows open. It's Nintendo.
Chaos says it's first party. It's Nintendo. All right. Well, if it did, you got to bear in mind too. The Japanese are always going to have an issue with knowing if something's been localized, right? There's everyone does their best in that world, but the liberals also know that's the easiest way to get what they
Hmm.
want because they know it's difficult for foreigners to know how something's coming across or how the verbiage is would be
Hmm.
interpreted by us.
Yeah, I do think that you are still correct though. That when it comes to Mario, like that is the icon you think of when you think of Nintendo, Mario.
Yeah.
So there's absolutely no way they'll let a Western influence or ideology infect it. Okay. It should be noted that despite the assertions of both Joy and some supposed series fans, Princess Peach's character has long evolved past her being the simple damsel in distress that pop culture has portrayed her as. That's what we stated. While it is true that Peach not only started off her existence as such a character and continues to occasionally fulfill the role on a game to game basis, The dismal of her character as nothing more than a helpless prize disingenuously ignores all the subsequent instances in which she played pivotal and capable roles in a story's respective narrative. In Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars, very good game, highly recommended to people. Though Princess Peach is at one point captured by Bowser, she eventually deceives her guards, escapes, and joins Mario on his fight against the villainous Smithy and his imperialistic aims against her kingdom. Yep. Likewise, the events of Super Paper Mario, also another good series that I would recommend, at least up to Thousand Year Door. Super Paper Mario was good too. And then the Origami King was okay. But Thousand Year Door was amazing. Likewise, the events of Super Paper Mario sees Princess Peach fight alongside Mario, Bowser, and Luigi in order to stop the evil machinations of Count Beck. With the princess even getting a particular heroic moment during these events wherein she rescues from certain death an enemy who did nothing but insult her history as a kidnapped victim. There you go. There's a screenshot. Super Paper Mario is the last good Paper Mario. It was okay. I still liked Thousand Year Door because it had the RPG elements that Mario and Luigi Superstar Sagas have, and luckily they continue with that. Paper Mario kind of ventured off into doing some other stuff. Doesn't mean it wasn't bad, but I think the gimmicks of Super Paper Mario got stale pretty quickly, at least for me when I played it. Though sadly taking a step back from being a playable character, Peach also played an important role in the events of Mario and Luigi's Partners in Time. Good game. Therein not only leading the initial charge to rescue Mario and Luigi from the past, but also trapping the game's central antagonist, Elder Princess Shroob, within the Cobalt Star before shattering it and temporarily preventing her revival. Okay, it sounds like they're just listing off the games of where she's not a damsel, which it proves the point that this mindset of her being the damsel in distress is pretty much like such on the low list of maybe something happens a little bit, but then bing, bang, boom, she fights her ways out, and that's it sort of thing. I have the first Paper Mario on my Wii and Wii U. I have it for the Wii U. Returning to the playable character fold, Peach would then receive her own dedicated solo adventure in the form of Super Princess Peach, which flipped the script by tasking Peach with running, jumping, and platforming in order to rescue Mario and Luigi from Bowser's clutches. I mean, but like she was playable in Super Mario Brothers 2, Mario Madness, aka Doki Doki Panic reskinned. But look at that. Look at that hate. Just
look at that strong woman.
That strong woman.
Are you happy now, voice actress? We got a picture of Princess Peach being ugly.
Look at that. I just stated that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they're just listing off games that she's been a part of. Super Smash Brothers. Oh, that's all they really had to... That's all they did.
Every Mario Kart, every Smash Brothers, every Mario Party. I mean, there's tons of side games too that are not necessarily like atypical Mario games that she was an independent character in.
Yeah. So, yeah, we've covered pretty much what the supposed fear that this voice actress thought she was going to have not only was non-existent, but was remedied long, long ago with Peach partaking in tons of different games.
She had a fear with no base in reality. Sounds pretty on point.
Yeah, my biggest thing was using the words modern. Like, very poor choice of words.
Yeah.
We get it.
Guess what? Nobody likes modern women. They're obnoxious.
Exactly. Any sort of modern or updated to modern for modern audiences or a more modern take, any variation of that are huge red flags. And her saying this definitely brought red flags to me, but from the feedback I'm getting from fellow pups and hearing exactly what she's talking about, but then
If she
But
was
then in
truly
the end,
modern,
pretty much saying,
Princess
"Oh,
Peach
I
would.
didn't need to worry about it." It was like,
Yeah,
"Oh
if
my
she was
god,
really modern, Princess Peach would have a butt plug and an OnlyFans.
oh my
Give me a
goodness."
break. She wouldn't be a strong woman. I'm sorry. You gals are not strong women. You're just busy stuffing things inside of your body and showing the whole world your butthole for $7 a month. It's not impressive. I hate to break it to you.
Maybe I should show mine. Mine's pretty impressive.
Well,
I don't know.
you want to make 7 extra bucks a month, have it?
I know there's a lot you can do with $7. Like buy,
Yeah,
I don't know, buy a sandwich or something.
pack of cigarettes.
A pack of cigarettes. Yep. Oh, since you were on Camelot's show, let's
Hmm.
check out that Death, Death, Death. See how that
Oh
sucker's
yeah,
doing.
it's jumping all the time, man.
Good, good,
Yeah.
good. We have Death, Death, Death. Yay! Breaking that 82K hump. We're now at 83, 353,
That's right.
1,000 backers. Woo! Man, just crushing it, killing it.
Yeah, I got a good bump. It's tough because as you know, like you cannot find it without the direct link. So like the next
Mm-hmm.
day I even went back to check the comments just to see what people said on the video. And I wouldn't say most of it, maybe like 5 or 6 people out of like 20 some comments were like, I can't find this book anywhere. And luckily I'm a mod for Cam, so I just started posting the link to everyone that was asking about it over there, and I saw the spike in sales again. So it paid off.
Shanie's
It's
here. What's up,
yeah.
Shanie?
What's up, Shani? My number one fan.
Yeah, I'll post the link just because I didn't know who would be showing up over at everyone's. Can I actually post? I can add a comment. Good enough. Good enough over on Rumble. Well, I guess you could just see it on the thing. If you use Brave, you can find it. But yeah, your
Yeah,
Death at Death has been shadow banned. Uh, I'm assuming still in effect.
yeah. It's you can't find it on anything other than Brave, and most people don't have Brave. Unfortunately, even if you suggest it to them, it's just like we're too used to going to Google. I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing. I just understand how human nature is. I don't hold it against anybody.
I hold it against Indiegogo.
Well, yeah, that part I do. Yeah. People going out and running to get Brave. It's like I get not fucking with it, but yeah, Indiegogo's there's something
Mm-hmm.
sleazy going on there because this stuff was never a problem like the last 5 years. It just started like 6 or 8 months ago happening to people, and they finally got me after a while.
Hey, Indiegogo.
Ah, go yourself.
But yes, saw Joe's tweet and came. Well, thank you for coming. Shaney says CEO's an annoying time. Yes, it is, dude. I hate CEO. It's annoying after a while. Half the people I listen to, whenever they're asked, "What about CEOs?" they're like, "I stopped caring about it." It's like it's such an annoying sort of thing.
I don't even know what CEOs are. I'm hearing it as CEO, like Chief Executive Officer.
Or SEO, excuse me. I'm reading it wrong. That's my dyslexia. SEOs.
What's SEOs?
SEOs are like words that when you type in sort of thing, it like pushes it up to sort of stuff to like make it to where searchable words will bring up certain responses and stuff like that. So
Gotcha.
like
Okay.
yeah, sort of thing. So, it's when you hear people saying like, well, the algorithm right now is really hot for this sort of like CEOs and stuff like that. So like if you get on it enough to where these certain keywords are part of your video or what have you,
Yeah.
you have a chance of being bumped up on the list sort of thing.
Well, it's just sad that Indiegogo itself, you can punch it in and it won't give you a result.
That's the scummy part. That's the
Yeah,
big scummy side.
that tells you what's going on there is that it won't their own search function can't seem to find it anywhere.
Shaney says, yeah, search engine optimization. Yeah. Don't Go ask Shani. She apparently knows more about SEOs than me. I know that I tried looking into it, and it's annoying because the algorithm keeps changing. That's the thing. So if you really want to capitalize on using that, like you have to keep up to date with it because Google and all that shit changes it all the fucking time. Because people know how once they figure it out, they know how to exploit it.
Yeah. Well, Indiegogo, it's purposeful too because
Mm-hmm.
a bunch of other comic skate guys specifically, it does not happen to anyone else. The
Yeah.
day they launch, it won't be searchable. It hasn't
Oh,
even
but
had 24 hours,
Shani again wanted me to play the clip from with Pigeon.
Ah. Go yourself.
That is Pigeon from Mike Tyson Mysteries. To where if you go on YouTube and find Best of Pigeon Mike Tyson Mysteries, that was me. I did the compilation videos of those. I had to move it to another channel because it brought good traction, but then after a while they demonetized my channel. So I was like, well, one, the channel was never about compilation videos to begin with. Two, it was just a little personal project of mine to keep my editing sharp and up to date. But it was definitely something where I knew like a lot of people didn't know that was a Norm Macdonald role because Norm Macdonald does the voice of Pigeon. And that was a show that I think a lot of people misoverlooked. And then a lot of the Norm Macdonald fans didn't know that exists. So I'd like to say I helped show people uh, that series. Hilarious show, by the way. It's an adult version of Scooby-Doo with Mike Tyson, voiced by Mike Tyson. The guy who invented modern boxing, the Marquis of Queensberry, as a ghost. His adopted Asian baby daughter, Young Hee, and then Pigeon, voiced by Norm Macdonald.
Dude, it's funny to me because like I could, if you're a Norm fan, you
Mm-hmm.
pick up on his voice instantly. So I remember like the first time I heard him on Family Guy, I was like, oh, well, and then there were a few others like that where I was just like, man, you can tell it's Norm a mile away. Like there's never a mistaking it.
Oh shit. Shani's saying she ran an inspection on your Indiegogo, Joe. You have a Google Tag Manager embedded in the link. That's going to make your stuff not pull up in searches if it's not being utilized properly. But the thing is,
I don't know what any of that means.
yeah, the thing is I think Indiegogo purposely did that.
Yeah.
Quite scummy, really, but
That's why Brave can find it and magically Indiegogo's own search and Google cannot.
yes. But anybody new who just joined, check out Joe's Death. I posted it in the chat just because I didn't know who all was going to be coming on the show. But soon, website will be up. We're working on that. So then we won't have to. Then we can be cool and go to the website.
Yeah.
We'll
to
be
the website.
super sweet with that.
That'll be the way to go in the future.
We're stepping up to the future, brah.
We're going into 2024.
2024, we're gonna be going out guns a blazing. But yeah, check out Joe's Death. Help back it out if it looks interesting to you. We got different tiers that you can select. Some sweet coloring, some sweet mono.
Jesus Christ!
What's up?
This vodka is disgusting.
Oh, okay. Or your casual, your sweet black and white. So yeah, check it out.
Yes, check it out. Sorry, guys, I'm not focused in like I should be normally.
Don't worry about it. We're here to chill and just laugh and make fun of stupid shit.
I didn't get high before the show like I should have.
Oh, I did not. I don't know. I didn't do my normal killing like I
Chaos.
do.
Why am I still drinking the vodka? Because that's all I have left in the house. Because I didn't feel like going to get beer. I'm trying to take it easy a little bit. Like I still have to get work done after this.
Okay, so next on the list.
Yeah.
Next on the list, while Joe's chugging vodka, this is something that's kind of is kind of the hot topic coming up right now. And that is people discovering with the newest Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse sort of fiasco is the whole. Oh wait, we can close that. Is
Don't tell me they fucked up the Spider-Verse too. It's like the only thing Marvel has that isn't
well,
completely.
guys, check out what they did. So Sony Pictures promotes child mutilation in the latest trailer for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse with the protect the trans kids. So let me see if I can kind of zoom in.
But
It's
they're
like
not protecting the trans kids.
like you can see
They're
it in
trying
the.
to mutilate the trans kids.
It's right. Like maybe you can see my mouse, but it's you can see it. It's right above the door in the upper right corner. So many things to wonder about because number one, trans kids don't exist because they can't consent to it and they have no idea about trans and all that stuff. So
Traumatized,
I
abused
don't know
kids
why they're
exist.
inserting this into here. The whole concept like doesn't make any sense to me. I don't give a crap what you do when you're an adult. I do not care, but like this literally makes no fucking sense. Well, it does make sense. They're a bunch of groomers. But it makes no sense whatsoever. Just the idea of it. So, I guess I'll be looking over here. So, Sony Pictures Entertainment's latest trailer for Across the Spider-Verse. Hey, Sim Inkslayer, what's up?
What's up, Sam?
Promoted gender affirmation and child mutilation with a Protect Trans Kids flag prominently displayed. At the 2-minute and 3 mark of the trailer, Gwen Stacy, Spider-Gwen, appears to be sitting in a room contemplating losing her friend Miles Morales, who is not Spider-Man. In her room above her door is a transgender flag that reads Protect Trans Kids. I'm not going to play the trailer because they're not getting shit from me.
I mean, everyone knows where to find it if they really care.
Yeah, if they give a crap about it. I don't know if this just looks... Whoops. Sorry. Wait, why is this picture being shown? Anyway.
Probably because they're going to try to say something about Catholic priest without realizing that the whole stupid part of this is when you say, well, look at what teachers and priests do. Guess what? Teachers and priests try to hide it because they know it's unacceptable and because they know parents will go after them if they find out this disgusting shit. You know who doesn't hide it and flaunts it and then gets offended if you're offended by them? Trans and liberals. Like,
because
that's a big difference.
Greg.
It's like, guess what? One side tries to hide it because they know it's wrong. The other side doesn't try to hide it because they're disgusting, low-life pieces of shit.
Mm-hmm.
You're just as bad as the priest. Stop trying to use the priest to get out of being gross yourself, weirdos.
And the thing is, too, like legitimate, like actual, for intents and purposes, conservatives or people who follow the faith despise the priests that do that stuff as well.
Yeah, it's not like someone's out there cheering on the priest from the right.
Exactly.
You know, like that's what's so silly is.
Yeah, like to me, bringing up the whole well, what about the Catholics and stuff? It's like, dude, we've been calling out that shit forever. Like, are you just retardo?
No, you're talking about a bunch of people that were born yesterday, have no context of anything.
Mm-hmm.
Their memories are so short, they can't remember the day before, and they're low IQ in general. I mean, liberals are just low IQ, mentally ill people in general.
See, that's why I hate the rhinos and the libtards equally, because they're all part of the blood orgy.
Well, no one likes rhinos either. That's the thing. It's not like the right's running around endorsing Mitt Romney. We've been taking dumps on him for the last 20 years. There's no one from the right's running around cheering on George Bush. We all fucking hated him after 4 years. You know, and he weaseled his way to another 4. They've got to understand, like, you can't offend us with things that we didn't like either.
There we go. I got it set up to where I can see shit. But yeah, like this is the absolute insanity. Because to me, the whole like protect trans kids and thing, like I said, number one, they don't exist because they can't consent. Again, I don't give a shit what you do when you're old enough to make the decision yourself. Kids can't do it. End
Oh,
of
I
story.
still do. I'm one of those people where, like, you know how a lot of people go, well, whatever an
Hmm.
adult does in their bedroom's up to them. I don't live by that either. I do care about what you do in your own home. If you're a fucking weirdo, it concerns me either way. I don't care if you're a weirdo in private. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people
No,
are
I
like,
know
"Well,
what you mean.
that's not constitutional." I'm like, I never said I was I'm not a constitution perfectionist loving person. I'm a right and wrong guy. I give a shit less if certain things go against the Constitution. It's just not how I am. I don't live
Yeah.
and
Well,
die
no,
by a
I'm
sheet of
like,
paper.
yeah, I was gonna say, Joe, like, I don't care what you do behind closed doors. If I find out what you do and it's disgusting, like you know, I'm gonna have thoughts about it. Like, yeah, I'm the same as you. It's like you can do whatever you want. That doesn't mean I don't like. I'm not gonna say anything about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Shani says if you can't drink until you're 21 and can't enlist in the army until you're 18, you shouldn't be considered old enough to screw up your hormones more than they already have. Yeah, and it's the honesty too. It's the parents. It's the parents who are doing this to the kids because they are they're angry about something, and so they're taking out their anger on these kids. It's the same thing with the SJW and cancel culture. It's bullying without leaving any marks and stuff like this. Except with this sort of stuff, it does leave marks on the
Liberals
kid.
see their children as political play toys. It's fucking disgusting. Not a single one of these people should even be allowed to have kids. I don't care about the legalities of it. If you're in your mid 30s and you're still a liberal, you should probably be castrated or made so you can't have children. And if you were, because I'll give you time, I'll give a person through their 20s because everyone goes through a little touch of it in their 20s. Um, but if you got life experience and you still think that way, sorry, no kids for you. We're not gonna let you have any more lives to fuck up. What's up, Hunter?
What's up, Hunter? I just don't understand why it immediately goes to the kids.
Because liberals are disgusting satanic weirdos.
Oh, that
That's
makes
literally
sense.
what it is. That here's the thing, dude. It's the devil has to go around this planet, and everyone he sees, because he's stuck here with us, whether he likes it or not, is the face of God. So everywhere he goes, he's got to look at the creature he can't stop or do a thing about, looking right back at him all the time, and it infuriates him and his minions. And the one thing they can do to poke at us and to poke at the face of God is to go after the most innocent things on this planet.
Hmm.
And it's gross. It's disgusting. I hate when the occasional you see a case of it here and there with the right. It's not that common, but you will see it occasionally. But yeah, stop dragging kids into your fucking delusions and your mental problems and your disgusting ideas. You're gross people. I piss on you because you're not worth anything more than that. You're just gross adults, and I have zero respect and zero appreciation for these people. They're not human.
Hmm.
They're somewhere below that. They're below animals.
Oh, he definitely doesn't like it, but screw Satan.
Yeah, fuck him.
So,
He's a fag. Literally.
yeah, everything Satan does is, of course, it's funny because he copies God, but he twists it and makes it his own version,
Yeah, he
which
turns
is
God upside
he's
down. He turns
yeah,
everything
he's
upside down.
unoriginal, sort
Hmm.
of thing too. Yeah, and one of the things I've kind of thought about too is that these people like they're trans. First of all, they're trans activists. Like, because I personally believe a lot of these people that are spewing this stuff and going after the kids and stuff, they don't. They honestly, they secretly don't care. They just see it as like the next fad that they're hopping on and stuff like that. You know, sort of thing too. And unfortunately, it's the activists that are the ones that we think of the most too. Because I know a couple of trans people too, and I get along with them just fine. They know where I stand and stuff. I don't. Again, I don't really care, sort of thing. And they're the ones that are like, we just want to be left the fuck alone and just do our thing. And it's like,
I mean, I get that, but I'm not going to show up for them. They've made their bed. Most of them chose not to speak up when it was necessary.
mm-hmm,
You know, I'm not gonna fucking worry about them, good or
mm-hmm,
bad. It's just you guys have made
I
your
get you.
minds up with what you're gonna do. I've got no like let's say the world got really out of hand and it came down to old school survival again. Very last people on my list of worrying about. If it's an innocent child or a tranny, guess what, tranny? The bad guys are gonna get you because you're an adult. You had your chance. This other thing over here is a little kid that's had no chance, and I'm gonna give them an opportunity to have a life way before someone that chose to ruin their life.
I am happy that you have drawn your line in the sand, Joe.
Yeah, it's just I've got to a point in life where I've had to be a lot more real about this stuff, and people
Hmm.
need to um they need to all start being honest and stop tippy toeing around these fucking mentally ill weirdos and acting like they're sane and they have any grasp in reality whatsoever. I'm not going to try to be rational with irrational people. I'm not going to try to explain things to people that aren't listening to begin with. It's a waste of my time and energy.
That's
You're
how
done. You're cut off. Yeah.
see. That's how I look at it too. Is like it's just like waste of my time, man. Like I chalk it up to like I'm not weeping over everybody in the entire world. If I know
No.
people and I care about them, then yeah, I'll there's that sort of thing. But like these people that are like claiming they're doing this for the sake of all the oppressed or what have you, it's like you're not going to bed weeping about these people. You don't care.
No, because here's the catch. We know there's real legitimate cases of oppression all over this planet, and you cannot get those people to pay attention to it for a minute. You bring up
Exactly.
slavery going on all over this planet in places outside of the US and Europe, and it still occurs even in Europe. The royalty class there still has plenty of slaves. Um, they don't care. You look at the human trafficking and the child trafficking numbers, they don't give a shit about any of that. Not an ounce. So I don't, I care, but it's there's only a certain level of what I can do about it.
Well, that's the
These
thing
these
too.
people have a huge stage, and they're not focusing on anything that matters.
Well, that's the other thing too that they kind of get on the whole thoughts and prayer sort of thing. It's like if you really understand the scripture and your faith, the reason why we say our thoughts and prayers is that we know we can't like we know that there's just some things that we cannot do, but yet it's not going to eat up our time 24/7 and stuff because there's other stuff that we have to worry about that are like connected to us. That's where our faith comes into God to take care of everything, and he says he will take care of everything, sort of
Sorry,
thing.
I got kids I got to protect from you fucking mentally ill butchers. Sorry, I don't have time for you fucking retards because I have real normal children that are little girls that just want to play with Barbie, Minecraft, and fucking Mario. Sorry, I'm
Is
trying to give them normal lives outside of this so they don't have to hear or be exposed to this stuff. Like
is this
when I'm
vodka
around
Joe?
them, I'm actually barely had any yet, but I'll
Oh,
get there.
okay. I
But
was gonna say because if this is vodka Joe, I have a big
no,
old
I'm
giggly smile on my face because
when
I'm
it
just
comes
love it.
to kids, I'm super touchy and my filter comes off. And I mean that even happened on Camelot the other night. I was trying
Hmm.
hard not to get too into it because I wanted to keep it fun and silly and happy,
Yeah.
and I just couldn't.
Mm.
I
Oh,
I
so you
can't.
decided to do it on my show, huh?
No, I did it to both y'all.
Oh, okay.
You
I
both
don't
you
care.
both got it. Yeah, when people are trying to mess with children, like we've already seen too much slippery slope. And what I'm irritated about is it took some lunatic in Tennessee killing some kids for the
Yeah.
people that have similar opinions that I do to wake up and actually verbalize and be a little aggressive against this stuff. And I mean, I'm not even the biggest Daily Wire or Matt Walsh fan, but they're like the only people even putting an effort into it. And I don't
Hmm.
even like Shapiro or half the crew over there. They're most of them are fucking obnoxious and they're just neocons. But
Yeah, they got really
it's
corporate-y.
at some point you got to stop trying to push us into a corner because you keep pushing us into a corner and trying to mess with people's children, and things are going to get out of hand extremely fast for you.
Hmm. That's what I said
And
too.
I'll
Like they're
leave it
gonna,
at that.
yeah, they keep poking the bear, and they're gonna poke the one bear that will not only wake up and push back, but he'll take it to the extreme, just as much as what these people do.
Look at
It's
the Crusades, dude. You had Africans and Muslims mishmash pushing all the way in and they were decimating and dominating. Really good at warfare. They were smart. These weren't like a bunch of dumb savages or some generic stereotype like that. They pushed all the way across Europe till they were getting ready to take England at one point. It took Europeans being pushed all the way into a corner of an island to finally get their act together and fight and push back. And they eventually did. It balanced out. It was the same way with the Nazis. They pushed to a certain point to where eventually people were like, "Look, we've either got to push back, or these guys are just going to keep on
Yeah,
being
that's the
methed up and
thing.
blazing right through town after
Yeah,
town."
that's the
So
thing is that they're gonna
you
keep
know,
pushing too. But like,
yeah.
yeah, going back to like stuff like this should not be in superhero movies. But I mean, it's we all know that's all it's
It
becoming.
if that's all it is, and this is me giving them just a tiny inch, if that's just a quick scene because it's barely noticeable the flag there,
Mm-hmm.
I won't be too grumpy about it because it's very hard to notice. Like you have to really be looking for that to even see it. Now, if it's something where there's shots that zoom in and it's right there in your face all the time, yeah, a little concerning. But like
Yeah.
that's also the slippery slope. You let people start putting it in secretly where it's hard to notice, and you're
You
in
mean you
slippery
weren't a
slope
fan of
territory.
Disney showing in those pictures of, boobs and stuff like that?
Now, I'll tell you, dude, in the mid 90s when I first started, I mean, not really mid, I'd say like 97, I was in high school, and a friend of mine started telling me about all the little weird oddities in Disney movies and Disney
Yeah,
artwork.
the subliminal messages and stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll be honest, I was a little put off even then. I didn't think it was like edgy or funny or cool. I was just like, what?
Yeah,
Why
it
do
was
that?
definitely like a.
Yeah,
Hmm?
this is for us kid. This was something we enjoyed growing up watching as kids. I'm glad I didn't notice. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to act like it affected me. It didn't. I never realized any of it was there. But the point is, it is there. And Disney's got a notorious history of fucking hiring pedophiles and shit. So it makes it even worse. So as soon as what's his name? Was it Dan Harmon or something like that? It was the dude that was he
Justin
was
Roiland.
the one that was in charge of like iCarly, all that, a
Oh,
bunch of
oh,
Nickelodeon shows.
Dan Schneider.
Dan Schneider. The minute all the words started getting out about that creep trying to get all over the little girls' feet on set and having them do strange things and being a little too touchy feely with some of them, Nickelodeon was smart and just washed their hands of him, even though we know they knew for 20 years that he worked there. They said, "Yeah, we're getting rid of this guy before people find out too much." Disney hired him the minute he was on the market. Come on over here, dude. Harass our poor actress, kid
Chaos.
kid actors.
Chaos Smash says, Greg and Joe, when you look at these SJWs, do you smell a stench when you look at them? Even.
Sometimes, sometimes I do. You'll see like a blue-haired land whale and just be like, "Oh," or you'll
Oh
see
yeah, I
some.
mean you can
If you
tell
see
right
like
away.
if you see like the Antifa mugshot lineup, you know those Antifa mugshot lineups where you see like 30 mentally ill people with their eyes bugged out of their head and multicolored hair, and they look dirty like they've been smoking meth for 2 months straight. That's when I can really smell them. Is when I see like those. Here's the 30 Antifa people arrested this week.
Okay, I skipped a lot of the article because it gets pretty uh like
Who cares? It's not like they're going to tell us anything important.
yeah, that's the thing. Like they're
We
starting
already
to get
know.
into like I don't mind about Christian faith and stuff like that, but if you're padding it by just talking about like what the Bible says and stuff, like I already know that stuff. There was something
The
else
Bible's
down.
pretty clear about what happens to people that hurt kids.
Yeah. Not only does the trailer include a protect trans kids flag prominently displayed in Gwen Stacy's room, but Morales sports a Black Lives Matter sticker on his backpack in the 39-second part. No. Yeah, right there. Oh my gosh.
Well, they must
Uh,
not matter too much because his dad's a cop,
yeah, that's the
or whoever
ultimate
that is,
irony
his
right
uncle
here.
or whoever.
So,
Yeah.
Sony, so are you saying you actually support the idea of not defunding the police because his dad's a cop?
They just
Even,
want to
but
have
wait,
their
if I
cake and
remember
eat it
right, his
too.
dad knows that his son is, I think, well, someone like Spider-Man. And then they just go into explain what Black Lives Matter is. It advocates that to dismantle cisgender privilege and uplift black trans folks. Wait, so now they inserted black trans folks into their
What,
motto?
all three of them?
Well, there's,
Stupid.
I swear they sweat something slimy. I'm back. Oh, it's all good, Shanny.
Shanny, you missed me taking a dump on all kinds of people and ideas.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they fluffed this article with. Was they just saw the flag and the BLM sticker, and then everything else is kind of what the Bible says. Hoping there was a little bit more, but
Ultimately, like,
yeah, I mean,
who
but this is
cares?
again, this
Yeah.
is no surprise because we're seeing this all over the place too. And actually, Nina Infinity brought up a good question. Like someone made a comment, she responded to it, and the original comment was like, "What do we do about this stuff?" And it was based on the whole Dylan thing with the Bud Light and stuff like that. Like, how do we handle this sort of thing? Like, because the guy said the way we combat this is to not say anything, just ignore it, because that's what they want attention. I personally think that that sort of tactic is done and gone with, because they're taking it to the extreme. So simply ignoring it benefits them, sort of thing. So
There's
I'm the one of like, call it out when you see it, sort of thing. Like if it's a problem, it's a problem, and say something about it.
I would say at this point, focus on calling it out when it's happening in like real life situations. We know
Hmm.
that Hollywood's ran by liberals, and until some normies with cooler heads get up in there, this shit's gonna keep happening. But yeah, if we're gonna be mad and upset, we got to save it for where it counts to some degree, because the difference is liberals have a never-ending flow of money and energy because they don't do anything and they don't have jobs and they're mostly just paid activists to begin with. And the right doesn't have that luxury. There's a reason we can't show up at any given time and just grump and hoorah about whatever topic we're upset about, or
Hmm.
go complain and protest everywhere. We really don't have the time for it, you
Well,
know.
dude, I'm the whole boycotting thing too. Like, kind of for me, it was like if we're just gonna boycott things that we disagree with, there's gonna be a point where we're just not gonna use anything. And the sad reality is a lot of these corrupted people are too solid to like boycotting's gonna do anything, sort of
Well,
thing.
and a lot of normies don't even know.
Yeah,
They don't,
exactly.
they
So,
don't know the difference. You know how many people like there's this thing where on the internet and especially like Twitter world, the
hmm.
YouTube world, is it's really easy to get stuck in a bubble and think everyone's mad about something that where if you actually go to a theater or you're in a comic book shop, you quickly realize that most of the people in there have no clue what you're talking about. They don't use Twitter. They don't pay that much attention to this stuff. And it's good. It's refreshing in a way because you realize there's actually most of the country is still normal human beings. But
Hmm.
it is what it is.
Shaney says, I lived outside DC during 9/11. It was traumatizing. I feel like how Bush handled that helped him out to get a second term, unlike his dad, who was just a red Jimmy Carter.
Yeah, it's a 9/11 definitely gave him the hoorah. We're in a weird point too, where like red, white, and blue and Southern culture and all that kind of stuff was like cool, and it was fun, and it was what people were on board with. Um, I don't know what happened between 9/11 and there to make all those people kind of disappear. But yeah, I think they all became conservative boomers. And we all know like conservative boomers are basically worthless. So
Well, that's been my whole biggest argument, too, speaking of the conservative boomer sort of thing, because that's what I've made this show for and trying to talk with other people and stuff like that, is that I think the conservatives are doing a shit job pushing back against this insanity, especially in the entertainment industry, mostly because of what you just said, the conservative boomer. They don't know technology, they don't want to know technology. Well, you don't let the opposition tell you what it means, sort of thing.
Well,
You
yeah,
get people who can who can explain it correctly and tell you, sort of thing.
well, and they don't know art. They don't know
Yeah, exactly.
entertain. They don't know any of that stuff. And I get it, like why they don't. No, I'm not. That's not a problem to me. But the problem is they don't see the value in these things. That's the issue.
Hmm.
It's like you guys like. And sometimes I feel silly when I'm doing death, knowing like I'm in the super minority of right leaning people with a comic book like that. Like if you ask most right leaning people, like, what would you do for a comic book? They wouldn't even know where to start. They would just give you basically the Superman or Batman spiel and call it a
Hmm.
day. Like they're just not
Well,
creatively minded people.
I think, I mean, but that's more of like to me, it seems more like a theme, like specifically with your comic sort of thing. But you're doing it clever and really well executed to where you're combining a lot of biblical stuff and conservative ideals and
Hmm.
stuff like that, I assume, uh, and presenting it with stuff that people know, like mech technology, that sci-fi look to it. So you're doing that sort of thing. I'm more talking about the best example I can give is when the whole Steven Crowder and like Daily Wire thing happened, like that whole big fiasco. And
Hmm.
after seeing about stuff, I side with Crowder. And the reason why I side with Crowder is because he pushes back and he doesn't mind if he has to step over the line to do it. While Daily Wire may have the funds to like make their own movies and stuff like that, but they're being very, I think, safe about all that stuff. And the whole being safe thing isn't working, and I don't think it's really
They're not
can
making.
work.
They're wasting their money because they're not making anything that will make a splash.
Yep,
You know
exactly.
what I mean?
Well,
Like
yeah,
that.
that's a good, excellent way of saying it, and that's why I sided with Crowder. I don't even care that of the whole recording the whole who records an argument and stuff. And I was like, if this is a business talk, then who cares? Like, who
I
cares?
kind of I kind of just hate both sides of it, to be honest. Like I
Mhm.
said, I have a little soft spot for Matt Walsh just because he is doing some good stuff. The guy
Yeah.
does have balls of steel, but as for everything else, Daily Wire, it's a hard pass. Most of it's just fucking atypical,
Hmm.
safe garbage that they know won't.
I think there's goodness out of everything.
Yeah,
I just think that there isn't that. There's something there that hasn't that the established big conservative people are doing that I see a lot of like maybe indie people doing, but the closest person who's really well established to me is Crowder.
yeah.
That's how I look at everything. And the whole infighting retarded shit too needs to stop as well.
Well, it's tough because I was talking to Cam a lot about this. Like
Mhm.
the big difference, and it's not a good or bad thing. It's just like a reality we have to face and find a way to deal with, even though there's like no easy answer on it. Is like liberals will be like, let's mutilate children, and all the liberals that know that's retarded will just go along with it because they'd rather all support their same retarded, ridiculous, disgusting ideas than put their foot down with each other. Where conservatives, right leaning people, libertarians, anarchists, like that whole mishmash, constitutionalists, they're not like that. They will argue, they will challenge each other's ideas, they will not take sides if they do not like what the other side's doing. And I even pointed out the only thing Trump ever gets booed at his own events at is vaccine talk. Like that whole crowd there loves him with all their heart and soul. But if he
Mhm.
brings up vaccines, they're gonna boo him and let him know we don't like this. So we don't like your reaction to it. We didn't like how you treated COVID. We didn't like any of that stuff.
Mhm.
So um, that's one of those things too where it's hard for right leaning people to ever 100% be effective as a group because we won't just all bandwagon with each other. And it's I
Mhm.
don't know what the easy answer for that is. There isn't one. There's no way to like solve that problem overnight because we all know we're not going to just all agree with each other. That's
Yeah.
not an answer. That's not an option to say, well, why don't you just all agree with each other? It won't happen.
Yeah, I think but I also think too I think that's what makes Well, it's what could make the party stand out is that you have all these people with a basic solid foundation, but yet there's so many different little discrepancies that people disagree about, but in the end we can reunite together, sort of thing. And then you have the other side that's just we're taking it to the extreme and we're going to keep going extreme, extreme, extreme,
Well, the
extreme.
problem is we can't unite together until people try to kill and mutilate our kids. We let it spiral and get way too far out of hand before we do. And I'm not trying to deprecate like the people I either sort of agree with or completely agree with or whatever.
Hmm.
It's just like we've got to be able to point out the flaws and the issues here. And they're not even flaws. It's a good thing that we don't all bandwagon and agree across the board on things.
Yeah,
But in the
I agree.
environment we're in, it's a big part of why we're losing. So we've got to make decisions about like, okay, well, we can't all agree. So we've got to find some solution that doesn't involve all having to agree. None of us knows what that is. I don't know either. I don't have like I'm a product just like everyone else is of being able to identify a problem but have no good answer for it, you know.
My answer is the Punisher answer. If you're guilty, you're dead.
Oh my god. Good lord. Prepare to be punished.
That is the Dolph Lundgren version of
Dude,
Punisher.
he shot people for jaywalking. We got to be careful here.
Wait, what?
I said he shot people for jaywalking. We gotta gotta find some
Oh,
boundaries.
okay. Yeah.
I don't know. That's an old joke from the '90s when the Punisher character in the comic was so aggressive
Oh,
that like
was
you can
he? Was he
imagine
that
him just
extreme?
just blasting people over the most menial bullshit.
Oh,
He
but
was
wasn't
always
it?
running around. Go ahead.
I only read the Punisher Maximum, but like I thought he specifically targeted like drug dealers and crime organizations and shit like that. Did they really branch it out to something as stupid as jaywalking?
I mean, don't quote me on it because I can't remember the exact details, but like
What?
you
Joe,
gotta.
you're supposed to be the comic expert on my show, and I know nothing.
Dude, I'm too old to try to remember all these factoids, but it was just like a joke because depending on what writer was handling him would depend on how ridiculous his
Oh.
reaction was to to crime because we all know you can't treat every crime the same. Just some things are worse than each other. It's just how it is.
Chaos says Joe is too old and dumb. Oh,
That's right. Chaos, you hit the nail on the head. I'm too old, dumb, and tired and exhausted to even try to remember.
we can move on to another topic that caught my interest. Dungeons and Dragons. So there's a couple ones that I looked into. Um, we all know how like the Honor Among Thieves films is went out of its way to emasculate the male leads.
Did it though? Like I haven't seen it, and everyone I've talked to said it was a really good movie.
I've heard it was good too, but I heard it's still like the numbers are still like not good.
Well, it's a D&D movie. The numbers they
Yeah,
should be
yeah. I
happy
mean,
if it even breaks
I don't
even, you
base my
know.
stuff off of numbers per se, but
Most people hear D&D and they're instantly turned off cuz they just hear nerd shit.
I immediately get turned on.
He says, "You get turned off, but I get turned on."
I get turned on. Dude, I've been rocking a hard on 5 minutes ago. Never felt better.
I saw D&D and I was just like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa. I got to jump out of the stream for a minute. Go take
So,
care of this."
but the director was like another. Pretty much all my articles were bounding into comics, mostly because I didn't want to look elsewhere or time's sake, aka laziness, maybe. Uh, but he's claiming that the whole emasculating sort of thing. Oh no, Joe hit himself. He didn't
I'm
want
here.
to.
I was just off camera for a minute because these
No, that's
allergies
all
are
right.
making my face itch like a motherfucker.
Well, he said the reason why this was doing it, the emasculating of the male leads, was not for woke reasons, but because it's funny and fun and fresh. Now, whenever you have to say it's not for if the first thing out of your lips are saying we did this, but it's not for woke reasons, that's a big red flag for me. I'm just like, sus. doing their part to continue one of the most uninspired entertainment in recent years. The directing duo of Jonathan Goldstein and John Daly have admitted that their upcoming D&D Honor Among Thieves emasculates its male leads, though they claim this was not done for woke reasons, but because funny and fresh and all that.
It's
stupid
D
shit.
and D. It shouldn't be funny and fresh. It was never based in comedy to begin with.
Mhm.
Like that's sorry. We know he's lying right through his teeth and doesn't know anything about D and D. That's what he's saying.
So he revealed this in a recent interview with Variety's Adam B. Oh, I didn't know he was a screenwriter for Homecoming. I still need to finish. I still need to see Far From Home and the other shit. Following brief discussions regarding their own personal histories with the original game and their here's a new word for Greg. Ostensibly respectful but ultimately cynical feelings towards working with established IPs, the pair were eventually met with an observation from Very that the lead female characters, Michelle Rodriguez's Olga and Sophia Lisa's Doric, are at the forefront of the action scenes, and the men are often hanging back. Well, yeah, because you want to promote that woman, that strong woman sort of thing. That was not an attempt at wokeness on our part, defended Goldstein in turn. Swear to God it wasn't, Daly backed up his creative partner. Sure. We like that Olga's the bruiser that does the dirty work for Edgin, and he doesn't like to get his hands dirty. We also love emasculating leading men. What? That's a terrible argument. Especially when you just
basically they just put people in charge of this that once again no respect and no care for what they're working on.
I just love that tacked on at the end. We also love emasculating leading men sentence.
Yeah.
When you hear that, what do you think of?
Well,
you think
then
of wokeness.
emasculate yourselves, faggots, and leave the products alone. You're in charge of making sure are done right.
Just because it's funny and fun and fresh. It was the dynamic we had with Rachel McAdams and Jason Bateman's characters in our previous co-directional outing, Game Night. Didn't that do terrible? I don't
Yeah.
know.
In fact,
Tom
nobody
Holland
saw
versus
it.
Robert Downey Jr. in Spider-Man Homecoming. That's a terrible comparison. I'm sorry.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
That just doesn't seem right to me. We like our male heroes to be challenged and not simply heroic. So your go-to is to emasculate them?
None of this makes
What?
sense. I'm getting irritated just trying to get through
None
this
of
because
this
nothing
makes-
they're saying adds up.
Yeah, Peter Parker's challenged because he's under the mentorship of someone who's literally smarter than him. And Peter Parker, one of other Peter Parker's main traits is that he's really smart because he makes his own web slingers. Oh my gosh. What's funny is that in our casting process on multiple films, we've met movie stars that you would think are comfortable enough in their own skin that they would be able to portray themselves in a vulnerable light. Wait, why are you now switching it to like the movie stars? We're not talking about the movie stars. We're talking about the characters. But a lot of them really don't feel comfortable doing that, he continued. Obviously, we won't name a name here, but there's a notable movie star, I can think of two, who is so handsome and awesome and will not make himself look weak. That's so shocking because to me, that feels like the most fun that you could have as an actor. Or maybe he just knows that he's good at specific roles and says, I'm not doing that. Or he smelled the stinker when he saw this and said, fuck that, we're staying out. I think they think they love to do that, agreed Goldstein, but when it comes down to it, they're not really willing to look foolish or less than. It's one thing for like a male lead. Like, here's what you could have done. Take the action hero, like sort of lead character, and instead of just having him be emasculated by having stronger female characters, have him do like your action sequence thing where literally everything should go right, but it doesn't. There you go. That's how you make him fresh and interesting. Not like, hey, I can't do this, so have strong woman do it for me. Oh, it's funny.
Oh, and it doesn't make any sense. It's not.
Yeah, this doesn't make any sense.
It's not something that's. It's for. Here's the catch. It's not going to appeal to men, who it's intended for. And second, it's not going to appeal to women because women don't give two shits about D&D in general or any nerd shit. I know there's exceptions. I don't want to see anyone bring up the exceptions because those are irrelevant to the discussion. Most women don't even know what D&D is. Most women do not care about role-playing games. The stuff is completely outside of their purview. If you go talk to some chick and say, "Hey, you want to go see D&D this weekend?" They're gonna have no fucking clue what you're talking about.
There
It's
you
a
go,
it's a
moles
very
and skin
teeny
tags.
teeny
Oh,
tiny minority. Now, see, there's things women would actually click on.
try this if you have belly fat. Oof. Bounding into comics, going hard on that fat shaming.
Mm.
I don't really want to
Well,
read this anymore.
they
This is,
know who's reading their articles.
but this also ties into another D&D article that I saw that I know got some flack, and it's for people that actually may know the game. And that is the whole like Dungeons and Dragons to remove half species from player's handbook claims the entire idea is inherently racist. So you know right away that people screaming racist were people that were never fans to begin with. We all know how crappy Wizards of the Coast have gone. So they revealed that they will be removing the concept of half species from the Dungeons and Dragons player's handbook on the grounds that they are not comfortable including an inherently racist concept of the game. What makes it inherently racist? That's what I want to know.
Dude, they don't know. They just say shit. They don't. They
This
have no clue what they're talking about. They have no respect for the source. They don't understand that. Guess what? Races exist in the real world because you guys can't stop bitching about it 24 hours a day.
this
It
for
is what it is. Just live with it. You fucking
this
retards.
this forthcoming update was first announced publicly at the recent D&D Creator Summit, an event wherein Wizards of the Coast gathered a number of notable personalities ranging from game developers to content creators and provide them a sneak peek of Dungeons and Dragons' upcoming release, following a rocking start to the summit marred with various technical difficulty issues. Oof. The publisher eventually hosted a demo for their upcoming virtual tabletop, after which the lead rules designer Jeremy Crawford, senior story designer Chris Perkins, and studio art director Josh Herman appeared for a Q&A session with the attendees. Eventually, the post-demo Q&A turned to the topic of Wizards of the Coast's ongoing efforts to sanitize D&D, beginning with a question about how exactly the publishers make use of their sensitive readers. How about you tell the sensitive readers to go fuck off?
It's so dumb. It's
If you
just a
don't
way of
like
saying
it, don't
we hired a
participate.
couple of our friends to complain.
We don't send
It's
everything to the
stupid.
same people all the time, Crawford
Yes, you
explained.
do. Yes,
Different
you do.
viewers have different areas of expertise and experience. I'm going to say that these reviewers that you're claiming aren't reviewers. In fact, they
They're
were never
not.
fans to begin with.
No.
They're PR people who will
Yes.
say, nope, you got to do it this way. Everything gets sent to at least two people, sometimes more. Oh,
Two whole people. Oh my
just
god,
two whole people.
It's the same people. They're so stupid. Like they think average people don't read this and understand what's happening.
The old
That's
inclusive review process had holes in it. What were the holes? Because they would only send out what they thought would be a problem. Now everything is sent out, so we aren't guessing what might the problem be. Oh, you're guessing all right. You're guessing why everyone is pissed off at you, and you just can't put your finger on it. Our team, our game designers and storytellers, we're not experts in culture and inclusion. Well, all the
you
more
don't
reason
have
not to worry about that stupid shit. Because then you can just say, well, don't play it. So we're focused on what damage should this creature do. That's why everything goes through inclusion review. There's really a thing called inclusion review. Fuck that. Fire those fuckers immediately. And get back to making good content. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe that.
I'm gonna switch headphones real quick.
That's
These
fine.
things are killing me.
Oh, sorry. I mean, I figured some companies would have it, but an actual thing that's called an inclusion review, fuck right off. Even reprints are going through inclusion reviews. Oh man, you're gonna put those original things values skyrocketed because people are gonna want. We don't want this gay shit. Like we want the OG. The article and the headphones are killing Joe's ears, pretty much. It's just his excuse to go vomit from the demonification of this sort of garbage happening and taking place. Well, I'll continue without him. So the designer detailed, we get a full report and then address the issues identified. We have a conversation. Then it goes back to the reviewer so they can see what we did and comment as to whether it addressed the issue. We also now send the art, even the sketches, through the review process. Jeremy thinks of it as inclusion collaborations because it's a conversation going on. It's a conversation. The only conversation that's going on are done by fucking activists. See, this is the problem. They're listening to activists who do not care about the fandom or whatever thing that they're infesting, because what they see is an area that hasn't been exploited yet to this bullshit, and that if they go in there and they do if they do Satan's work as opposed to the Lord's work, they'll be the ones put on a pedestal for helping bring inclusiveness and equality to the situation, which I'm pretty sure probably the OG has it. And if not, who cares? Like, every part. You guys want to make this real life and in history? Let's take a look at what happens in the history of the world. How much slavery are there? How much, racism is there? It's part of history. If anything, the OGs are probably as real as what you guys want it to be. They're just retconning everything to make it to where they're the best people.
It's fine. It'll just kill their sales. I mean, it's Hasbro. Here's the thing. Hasbro's not going to get a government bailout. They don't have that level of sway like airline companies and oil companies and shit. So go ahead and let them fail. I mean, don't get me wrong. Hasbro's brought me some of my favorite stuff over the years. But we're talking 20 years ago, longer in some cases, 30, 35 years ago when I was a little boy. So it's whatever. Have at it, Hasbro. Go ahead and let these people keep running your company into the fucking ground and keep watching and complaining about, well, no one's buying our stuff. Yeah, no one's buying your stuff because they have D&D books from 1988 that do the job just fine. And they're perfectly content with that.
Crawford then confirmed that due to the game now having 4 elf variants for players to choose from when creating a character, standard elves, high elves, wolf elves, and the drow, the player's handbook would soon be revised to do away with half species. But I thought the whole idea of elves was racism. That's what I hear. I thought the whole point of the elves is because people were racist towards the elves. So instead of the whole main problem and saying we got to get rid of half species, you just created more inherent racism to supposedly happen within the world. Frankly, we are not comfortable and haven't been for years with any of the options that started with the half. Dude, X to doubt, calling bullshit, calling your bluff. Let me see that hand. You're a fucking liar.
What, they want everyone to be a pure blood?
What's up?
The people, do they want everyone to be purebloods? No intermixing of the races. Like, what are they trying to do? Make your mind up, you fucking retards.
Very Hitlerish, Wizards of the Coast.
Maybe they're trying to grab up the Nazis without saying it openly. Say, hey, there's a whole demographic of people we're not getting. It's all 6 Nazis in the United States.
Oh, look, unsurprisingly, Crawford did not expand on his accusation, and thus his reasoning behind this claim remains unknown. Oh, I know what the answer is. It's called fucking bullshit, is what it is. So here you go. Here's some very bad inherent things. Half elf, half orc. Goodbye, +2 charisma. Goodbye, +1 to 2 other ability scores. Goodbye, dark vision. Goodbye, Fey ancestry. Goodbye, skill versatility. Rip. This is making my head. This is making your head hurt.
They should
Oh
just
yeah, and
make
then they
all the
made Aragorn
characters
black.
black and in wheelchairs.
That was another thing too. When Magic did like Lord of the Rings artwork, they made Aragorn black. Everyone's like,
So
oh, and then they
stupid.
try to turn tokens wording to like, well, technically it does describe him as black or something like that. I don't even know. I'm sure it was bullshit. I didn't believe it for a second. Well, that was pretty much the end of the article. Pretty fucking funny.
Good. Yeah. Oh, that's so dumb.
All right. Now this one I have no clue about. And we're up to an hour and a half in the show here, so we'll see where this takes out. Andrew War Snowboard says FTR over at on Rumble. What's up? Sorry, I'm trying to make sure I'm seeing everything. I'm sure there's like a plugin where I could get all the different chats, and there might be on. Well, I don't know if Restream works on Rumble, but this is something that caught my interest. And
If I'm looking off camera, it's just because I'm checking my kids on the camera I have in the room because they're acting like psychos tonight, and I just hear
no,
these, like,
don't worry. I know you had
thuds and thumps above
I
my
know
head.
you had
I'm
to.
like, oh my god, I hope they're not killing each other. They're supposed to be going to sleep,
Well,
they just don't care.
We'll wrap up here soon because this is the last article that caught my interest.
Yeah,
And that is Anita Sarkeesian.
Oh god, this bitch.
Yeah, this bitch. Apparently is unhappy, reaping what she sowed. Complains that the concept of diversity, equity, and inclusion is working as intended, and that it's the problem. It's a problem. I cannot wait to see what this is all about. So after years hangering both players and developers in service of forcing identity politics in the realm of video games, infamous grifter Anita Sarkeesian has now found herself unhappy with the fact that the very concept of diversity, equity, inclusion, DEI, flip that around and call it to die, because that's what it should be. It should die. She has built an entire career upon pushing is working as intended. So taking the stage of the 2023 Game Developers Conference, she asserted to the attendees of her Your Die-In initiatives are making your culture worse panel. Are you shitting me? She had a panel saying that that's making it worse? My gosh. DIE's efforts are framed as attempts to transform workplace environments into a space that is welcoming for all people, especially those historically underrepresented. They are, in fact, having the opposite effect than intended. Hopefully, it's just the companies see that blue hair fatso coming in and have other people that they could hire and then can just say, we'll hire that person and not the blue-haired fatso because they know what's coming. Joe's kids, leave the squirrel alone and get the fire extinguisher. My gosh.
That's why I was smiling. I read that.
Oh,
I
you
didn't
read
want to
that?
interrupt you. It was making me laugh. Dude, how do two little girls that have been awake all day still jump around and act ridiculous until like midnight every fucking night? Like, go to sleep.
See, that's where the
Jesus
whiskey on the
Christ.
gums come into play.
Yeah, old school techniques probably work. I'm not brave
It's for
enough to give
teething
that one a
purposes,
shot,
folks.
but yeah.
It's from Malcolm in the Middle.
Dude, if you buy like kids Benadryl or things like that, even says right on the bottle, like, do not use this to try to get your kids to go to sleep and
yeah,
calm
because
down.
that's what people are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wink, wink. I'm not here to tell you that die is broken. I'm here to tell you that it's broken. I'm here to tell you that it's working as intended, and that that's the problem. Well, time to disband it. As per a recap of the panel provided by GameIndustry.biz. However, rather than outright admitting that the problem with die is the inherently racist skin color focused lens it demands everyone view the world through, and the constant victimization it demands that non-white individuals put themselves through in order to appease their co-workers who majored in liberal arts, Sarkeesian declared that the actual issue was how it seems like die has been co-opted or created by the powerful to become a shield against criticism and real change. You're part of that powerful, bitch. Like, don't try to pretend that you're like, oh, Now she's gonna play the woman. I'm just a woman. What do I know? How did I know that this was gonna happen?
She is just a stupid woman. She doesn't know anything, and she needs to go away.
Racist. I'm learning new words every day. Racist. Yep. A dye manager I admire told me dye is often panacea. It is a corporate embodiment. I feel like I'm saying that wrong.
Who cares? It's just some other stupid gay word they're trying to use on purpose to not make any sense.
Oh, okay.
We're stupid, so we're going to use a word that doesn't even matter.
This is bad because I'm already really illiterate due to my autism and dyslexia and all my other bullshit things. So this is bad. I hate new words. No, just kidding. I enjoy it. It is the corporate embodiment of a watered-down liberatory movement. It is an attempt to produce equity in a system that is fundamentally inequitable and resists equity. Then why'd you try to? You're the dude. You fat fuck. You're the one that infested this thing, and now you're upset because it's not doing what you wanted it to do. I've said this before. These people, they want to be the ones on the pedestal to get the recognition, and she's just mad because not only she's not really getting enough recognition, it's just created more diversity. Which people were saying by doing this, you're going to actually create more diversity. Oh my gosh.
They want to complain about things they caused every time. That's the catch. It's like the difference was in like the 80s and 90s and 2000s, because it's not like these people haven't always been there. They have. It's just no one listened to them. People are just like, go away, you're annoying. If someone wrote a crazy news article or a crazy article that said like, was like tranny type stuff you see now, everyone just scrolled past it. No one like went to work and discussed it. No one brought it up. The part of the problem is like the right amplifies things that are irrelevant and stupid instead of moving on from it. But we can't help it now because it's the people that have sway. They've got power where before they didn't. They were just looked at as a bunch of fucking Looney Tunes and nobody went near them.
Like the people that I've chatted with so far, like Doug and Ruben and stuff like that, because I asked them, I'm like, was this stuff around like back when you guys first started in like the 90s and like early 2000s? And they're like, yeah, it was there, but it was behind the scenes and people were respectable enough to get the job done and then move on, like sort of thing. This is the thing, is that the stuff that could have easily been resolved, like behind the scenes or like in private and stuff, needs to fucking stay there. And then everything will be hunky-dory because people can just enjoy the stuff. It's literally like, dude, Paul in the Bible literally called out like how to handle someone that's like part of the church that is not doing what the scriptures say or what have you. The very first thing you do is you pull them off and in private tell them like, hey, man, you're not actually doing what you're preaching, and that's a problem. Then if the guy says, no, I'm not going to change, then you go to the elders and say, hey, the leaders, the elders not doing it, or the deacons. Then if he still continues it, then you publicly shame them and cast them out. You tell the stuff like, amazing. Amazing. What the hell is that? Oh, Suicide Squad killed the Justice League?
That's a typical tranny. That's what that is. That's the people we're supposed to be taking advice from.
A dye, I'm sure it's not actually pronounced dye. I just like saying it. A dye manager I admire told me dye is often, I already read that. It is an attempt to produce, wait, I read that. I just got too distracted from this thing. She then recalled, expounding upon her argument, Sarkeesian claimed that dye initiatives were failing wholesale good because not only are companies organized in such a way that is resistance to change, but also because the entire concept was incompatible with corporate measures of success, such as how well was a project managed and what is this project's return on investment? Oh my gosh, almost like they would prefer to make money on something that's successful as opposed to not make money, but thank God we were equal about everything.
What's up, Edwin?
What up, Edwin? Chaos says, I think it's pronounced day, but keep calling it die. I'm calling it die.
Yeah. We're
I
not
figured it
French.
was. I
We're
think
not a
it. I
bunch of
figured it was
fruity ass
day.
French
Like,
homos.
what's up?
I said we're not a bunch of fruity ass
Yeah.
French homos. We're gonna say die.
Yep. The cynical take is that die work is a hamster wheel that executives can now throw all the troublemakers on who keep nagging about change. The feminist frequency founder declared, it keeps the agitators running in circles until they burn themselves out, but rarely actively provokes leaders into handing over the keys to affect meaningful institutional change. See, what I would do is not make them run in circles. I would just have them not be a part of the circle at all, because I
Yeah.
could have told you this shit like way in advance. Like this, for example, getting prepared to no this I just read this caption. It says Abby Laura Bailey prepares to sink the entire series' reputation in The Last of Us Part 2. Now, Laura Bailey, I like Laura Bailey as an actress. I'm one of the people that can separate the actress to what their policies are or what their ideologies are and stuff like that. And like,
And look, dude, I think
she got
guys like us will
backlash.
we'll look past ideologies. If
Mhm.
someone's at least producing quality work and not letting their ideology infest and ruin things. Like there's a comic book artist I love named George Perez.
Mhm.
When Trump won, he's not alive, not Trump, but George Perez isn't alive any longer. But when Trump won, he had a meltdown and said he would not do conventions in any red states, all the while living in Florida. So it was absolutely ironic to the max. And I saw this, but I thought to myself, like, he's old, he's a fucking boomer, he's not going to be around much longer. He gave me 30,
Mhm.
40 years of consistent entertainment that was really good and really high level and really high quality. I'm going to look past this moment. And I think a lot of us are reasonable enough to do that. I can look past a lot of people's Looney Tune ideology as long as they're not trying to mess with kids and as long as they're not letting it ruin the thing they're in charge of not ruining. So
Mhm.
and
No, I
that's
agree.
I think that's like, and they don't have that on the other side. The left has no capability to do that.
Oh, if you
I
show
will
any
gladly look past craziness as long as the people are doing their job.
Yeah. And of course they made it too extreme to where it's if you show any sort of agreement on something, you're casted out. Which I could
Yeah.
have told you before. It's a dog eat dog. Dog eat dog world over there. Sadly, Laura Bailey has pronouns on her damn Twitter bio. I personally think Travis and Laura, Travis is Willingham, that's her husband. I personally think they're based, if not center, center maybe a little bit on the left side, but I don't think they're extreme weirdos like these people are. That's my I'd love to have Laura on. I mean, because Ruben said that she got backlash when she voiced the one chick in Uncharted, and Ruben was like, "We cast her because she was the best choice out of all those people." Hey, almost like that's what I've been saying forever, and almost like that's what the entire industry went off of, and that one shouldn't get a role simply because it's a black person, so therefore a black person should play said character. And it could be any other way around, too.
Yeah.
To this end, she then noted that the slightly less cynical take is that executives have the will to change, but also the fear to change. Well, you're just hoping that you just want to use fear to make them change. And they figured out, executives figured out that loophole to put you in the corner and just keep you there until you're like, I'm tired of being in the corner. I'm just going to leave. That's on you. They're stuck in a corporate system. It's always a corporate. I don't get this. Then why are you part of the corporation? It's the corporate. It's not doing what I want. It's the corporate's fault. Then why are you a part of the corporation? I'll be like, hey, I understand completely. I understand completely of going into the quote enemy's battlefield. Quote. The only difference is that your battlefield is fucking retarded. Mine actually is like based on like, well, for me, scripture. Mine's biblically sound, and it's showcasing
Well,
that it's true.
here's the difference: is they think that their excuse is, how am I supposed to live as a communist or a socialist in a capitalist system? It's like, well, that's what's nice about a freedom-based capitalist system, is you can still live like a socialist or communist and no one's going to stop you. No one gives a fuck. Like that's the thing. They always, it's like, well, how am I supposed to not live in the corporate world when it's all around me? It's like, easy. You don't do it. You have principles. You guys don't have principles. You don't have morals. You don't have anything. You
or
just
literally, yeah, literally what's happening now, the indie side of stuff. Man, how amazing is it that you could just do what you feel like you're called to do, and other people will like, yeah, we'll support you.
They don't want to, because that would be work. They always want the money.
True. I forgot they're slobs.
Yeah, they want everything that hard work gets you without doing any of it.
Mm-hmm. That's why they're retconning everything, and hoping that the future generations, when they do research on entertainment and stuff, they look at, some fat, blue-haired chick, some dyke.
Brother, my kids are tearing the house down. I'm not trying to be rude, but I do got to hop off here.
No, that's fine. We're
I love everybody. Thank you for showing up, Greg. Thank you for having me. I'll be getting a hold of you either way here in the next day or two, brother. Just work stuff,
Yeah, for sure.
And
hit me up.
We'll touch base again here soon. Thanks everyone for showing up.
Check out Death.
Yes. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, wherever. I'm easy to dig up. God bless you all, and I will talk to you later.
Drink that vodka.
I'm not touching no more vodka.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, though. Maybe
right.
on a night where I don't have things to do. But yeah, later, brother.
Later, dude. Thanks for stopping by.
Yep.
I'll kick him off. We'll go ahead and finish up the article here, and we're actually around the 2-hour mark that I usually go. So they are stuck in a corporate system that is resistant to this change. Sarkeesian added. Sarkeesian, whatever the fuck her name is. This is this is baked into the structures of corporations' regularness, or regardless of who is in charge. You're just mad because you're not the one in charge, and you feel that you should be in charge because you brought equality to everything. Chaos says now it's just you and me. And the people over on Kick and Rumble, who, if you haven't already, like and subscribe and support the show. It'd be cool. More so, just we're just building up what we can over there. So I am enjoying Kick, by the way. Kick is going pretty cool. Unsurprisingly, despite the entire concept calling on white people to serve as allies in helping promote identity politics-based changes among their own environments, Sarkeesian took issue with both the fact that the dye departments were roughly 76% white. Aren't you in charge of that? You would think that for you claiming that we need more equality in these departments, and you founded this supposed stupid shit, that you let it get to where 76% are white. And men, even better, in these roles were allegedly paid more than women. Oh my gosh. They're still trying to push the stupid pay gap bullshit. It does not appear that Sarkeesian provided specific citation. Of course she wouldn't, because it doesn't exist for these figures during her presentation. James has the right idea and look of where I'm getting at with this article. This is so obviously replicating the exact problems of the system itself, she shared. The path of least resistance here is hiring more white people and paying men more because that's what we know and that's what we've been doing. Wait, what do you mean by we? Aren't you included into that? So in a sense, did you just admit that you actually are aware that you're paying more white people and more white men? Very poor choice of words. Sarkeesian then presented attendees with what she believes are 4 principles that needed to be adopted industry-wide in order to promote the appropriate and, of course, unspecified amount of dye-related change deemed necessary for a company to be looked upon favorably by the concept's ever-changing standards. Oh, James has the right idea. Almost want to hang myself from a termite-infested beam. Well, that was what I was getting at. But yeah, here we go. I cannot wait to see what these 4 principles are. Harm does not happen in a vacuum. Companies must dedicate themselves to rooting out the exact circumstances that allowed a moment of harm to occur. That would be you. As far as I'm concerned, that's you, Anita. You're harming, not the company per se, but you're harming the industry and harming games that could have been good, like the remakes and stuff like that, with bullshit. So I do agree completely that you are the one that needs to be rooted out. We need to break cycles of harm and prevent future violence. Employers must work to prevent any harm from ever happening again. Notice how vague she's saying with harm. What harm are you talking about? What harm? Microaggressions? That's just a made-up term of stuff that you don't know what happened, but you're pretty sure something happened. Microaggression. He said something. Well, what did he say? Well, this doesn't sound very harmful. Well, it may not sound it, but I know it's something. We must support the people who were harmed in their healing and the people who caused harm in their accountability. She argues that that offering care to those... Oh, so a union? Or free health care or some bullshit like that? Is that what you're trying to get? To those who were harmed and educated to offenders, and education to offenders, the latter to ensure that someone can learn how to truly offer substantial acknowledgement, apology, and repair to those that they have harmed. Here's the problem. One, there's nothing to acknowledge because the harm that you're claiming is happening is either not as bad as what you're making it or a straight up lie and you're projecting it onto others. Number 2, that apology is never going to be enough for you fuckers. Number 3, what to repair. We've seen cancel culture. It is very hard to repair a broken career and stuff like this. This is impossible. It's what they did with Vic. They will determine when you can come back, how much you can get back, and the help that you can get. This is the same bullshit that they pulled with Vic. This is all about us. This is about all of us. No, it's not. According to Sarkeesian, the current systems are failing us, and to break out of those cycles, we seriously need to skill ourselves up by creating stronger ways of being connected to each other, healthier relationships, de-escalating skills, communication skills, express feelings in non-destructive ways, and to put the work into unlearning toxic narratives and beliefs. One-way street. This just screams one-way street. People like Sarkeesian, of course, won't have to abide by these rules because they're the ones that point it out. Therefore, they get the free pass. It's about how much bloodshed they create. Connecting to each other. It's called you understand that people sometimes may just not agree with you, and you're going to have to fucking live with it. Don't like the environment, leave. Healthier relationships. Yeah, just believe in my shit and everything will be healthy. Fuck you. De-escalation skills. Fuck you. Communication skills. Fuck you. Express feelings in non-destructive ways. Oh, I'm sorry. I was a little bit a little bit too coarse there when I was saying fuck you. Please do me a kind favor and go fist your asshole. And put the work into unlearning toxic narratives and beliefs. How about just put in the work? You could have just said right there. This is about all of us. You know what all of us should do? Put in the work. Boom. Done. Every little decision you make, every case you handle, you've got to look at it through all these lenses. Yeah, right. The only lenses you're going to be looking at is through the bias lens. In addition to these principles, Sarkeesian called on companies to take an active stance in acknowledging their failings that she conveniently, and thank the Lord Almighty, that bestowed upon this knowledge on her, that she was able to call this out, because I guess it never would have happened if she didn't come along, arguing that you can't say sorry without naming what you did wrong. What? You can't make things better while pretending nothing's wrong. One, it's not pretending. Two, you can't name something without naming what you did wrong. You're just going to make up something of what you said we did wrong, and then demand that we apologize. Instead of a zero tolerance policy or we don't tolerate harassment, proposed Sarkeesian. What would it feel like to hear harassment, abuse, and assault has happened here? People were hurt and treated in ways that are not acceptable. The individuals are responsible, but so are we as the culture and community that allowed it to happen. Here's how we're going to start changing the way we talk about and look out for these things. Oh, so the culture and the communities are just as responsible? So then when a woke game fucking doesn't sell, then you have to accept the responsibility of when people say we didn't like the game because you inserted stupid woke bullshit ideology. You need to, what did you say? You need to apologize by naming what was wrong with it. Yeah, all of this is just stuff that they will not follow, but when they see someone that they don't like, they'll project this stuff onto them and then cast them out. She ultimately called for the industry to provide more transparency. I've got transparency for you. Stay the fuck out of the industry. You were never wanted. You were never a fan. You don't care about it. You want to be seen as the savior of this so-called industry where all these so-called injustices are happening, which, yeah, some of it may have happened, but it got handled in one way or another. You're not happy about it, and so you decided to step in and be the saving grace that this industry needed. And therefore, when you break your own rules, you get the free pass. We have to talk about what's happening. Oh, we're talking about it. The isolation, the confusion, the rumors, the misunderstandings that come with keeping everything quiet is not helping. Hey, Harvey Weinstein, what's up? We're just we're wrapping up a show here, talking about the bullshit that is Die from Anita Sarkeesian, who is realizing that no one's following the principles that she laid out. There's a lot of nuance here with balancing confidentiality, respecting privacy, as well as not leaning into public shaming. Anita. That's your guys' go-to, is when you learn about this. Because you're saying that this system is oppressing, that it's broken, that it's corrupt, that it needs fixing. And what was the way that you went about to fix this whole cult stuff? By public shaming. You are a fucking hypocrite. Wait, were those feet pics? Scroll back real quick. Yeah, they are. Some disgusting ads to show you how to get rid of toe fungus, apparently. But somehow, some way, we need to find a way to hold narratives together as a group so there's a collective accountability. Very commie idea in addressing that what happened wasn't okay and that we all want to support in the healing, changing, and cycle breaking that is needed. And that's the end of the article. I'm assuming what she's talking about is harassment, like sexual harassment or something like that. I don't get this. Like, she talks about diversity, equity, and inclusion, but then all of this stuff is talking, like, to me sounds like harassment in some way, shape, or form. Like sexual harassment or something like that, or assault or something. You, not the type of feed pics you're into, never mind. I love that the pics are what's piqued your neurons. So there you go. There's her somehow showcasing on what a big hypocrite she is. Oh my gosh, look at that face. My goodness. She's almost getting a bigger forehead than I am. Yeah, I need help. Oh, we all need help. We all need the Lord. All right, so that's the end of the show. We'll go ahead and close out here, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. There were some conversations. You need a mortician, and so does Anita. Or wait, a Mortis. Wait, what? Damn it, all these big words that just get me good. Now I'm bothersome and want to know how that's pronounced. Well, if you meant to type in a mortician, yeah, it's spelled wrong. That's what I'm assuming you're talking about. Wait, I need a mortician for my dying hair. I'm assuming is what that jab was at because I'm going bald. My goodness gracious, this is what I have to put up with. But yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap up the show. But first, a couple announcements before we dip. Like and subscribe, obviously, if you enjoyed the show. We were on YouTube, Rumble, and Kick. I was referring to Harvey. Oh, okay. I thought that was a jab at my dying hair follicles. Tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Kara Lynn's going to be on. A lot of people may know Kara, who was unjustly fired from a certain gaming company. That acronym goes along with legally retarded groomers. But she has shared her story a lot already with other people about that stuff. So the show tomorrow is going to be more about just getting to get to know her and just connect with anime, video games, and all that stuff, and just have a good time, hang out. If she wants to go into that story, she's more than welcome to, but it's not really going to be the main topic. But so she doesn't have to say anything. I might, not like asking from her, just insult the company or so, but probably not. But yeah, she'll be on tomorrow, so got her scheduled. So I'm super excited about that. I reached out to her when all that shit was happening, just to be another person to show her support. And recently she got hired on the Rippaverse, so that is awesome. So I'm sure we'll be talking about the Rippaverse as well, because we all know how much Eric July pisses people off. all the weirdos. So it's going to be a really fun show. So I'm glad I get to meet Kara and get to know her. And then on Saturday, Gary Wayne is coming back. We're going to be once again chatting with Gary and just getting to know more about his book and maybe learning more about the scripture in ways that we don't know. Talking about the supernatural and that sort of stuff too. Topics, I'm not exactly, sure what we'll be talking about, but I'm thinking I have some ideas, some more honed in topics that I'll run by with him And hopefully we'll learn more about the scripture and Gary's research. Chaos says I get to annoy Karas now. You be nice. LOL. It is funny. I like to play the feet things up as a joke, but God bless y'all. Love the shows with Gary. Can't wait for the show. Good. I'm glad you enjoy it. Nice. Ask Gary about the little people of the forest. Ooh, maybe I will. Maybe I will. But that will be on Saturday, 6 p.m. Central Time, and we will be on YouTube, Rumble, and I think I'll probably do Kick as well. Being nice is overrated. Well, don't be a dick then. Oh, gnomes and all that. Yeah, gnomes and all that. Yeah, we'll definitely. I'll see what's up, cause maybe we'll go into more alien talk and stuff like that. So if you guys like that stuff, all the more reason to smash that subscribe, follow, and then punch the thumbs up button and the like button, and then turn on notifications to know when I go live. But I will also be posting info about it as well on Twitter. But yeah, we're going to be dipping for the night. So thanks to everyone who joined me on YouTube, over at Rumble, and on Kick. Hope you guys enjoyed. Take care. I've been also gaming Wolong, and enjoying the game. A Dark Souls type game that doesn't give me as salty. But we just started. Bald. Oh, very rude. Harvey says, awesome. I am subbed. We'll be here for the show. Blessings, brother. Have a good night. Yep. God blessing to everyone as well. Stay safe. And yeah, have a good rest of your night, you guys. Take care. Have a good one.